You're listening to the Oklahoma Onstage podcast. We're glad you've joined us. We can be found on most platforms as well as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you have any comments or questions, we'd love to hear them. So, drop us an email at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com or use the comment form on our website, which is oklahomaonstage.org. If you like the podcast, please share it with someone. And now, sit back and enjoy another great episode.
Oklahoma on stage, the stories come alive with drama, dance, and music. The arts always thrive. From center stage to backstage lore, Oklahoma on stage, there's always something more.
Welcome to Oklahoma On Stage. As always, I'm Tim, and I'm your host. We're sitting here today in the Almonte Library. They have a podcast room here. I've used this on multiple occasions. And we're sitting with my guests today. And every once in a while, I come across an interview that really excites me because I don't really know a whole lot about the individual. And so it's kind of, I'm learning just as much as the people that are listening are learning. And so it's a lot of fun to do that, and it gets me really excited. So we're just going to walk through this journey together and see what we see. Today's guest is a multifaceted actor and artist, originally from Chickasha, now based in Norman. He graduated from Chickasha High School and studied theater and psychology at the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma in Chickasha. Since 2019, he's been a vibrant presence in the Oklahoma City theater scene, with standout performances like Mike Tallman in Wait Until Dark at Third Act, and John Merrick in The Elephant Man back at the Chickasha Community Theater. Currently, he's wrapping up a run in Bad Seed and preparing to take the stage in It's a Wonderful Life. Offstage, he explores his artistic passions through film acting, singing, poetry, and abstract painting, bringing a rich, expressive voice to every medium that he touches. So, Oklahoma Onstage family, welcome with me, if you will, Ford Filson to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you could be here. How's it going, man?
It's going really well. I've been staying busy a lot lately, and that's
Yeah.
It's always good to stay busy, I think.
Good. So let's just kind of start, just like we do with most everybody, start from the beginning and kind of let us know how did the arts, because you've obviously got a wide range of arts in your blood, how did the arts get a hold of you?
So I would probably say that it was probably my older sister who instilled the love for the performing arts and the arts in general. She was a stage actor at one point, just like I am now, and I saw her in a production of Alice in Wonderland at Chickasha Community Theater a long time ago, and she played one of the it was Tweedledee or Tweedledum, and she I was blown away by the performance, and I was like, there was just something in me that said that you've got to do that. Like you've got to, you've got to do that. So, and she went on to become a dance teacher and stuff like that. And she still does like dance choreography for certain productions. And so she was a big source of inspiration, I would say. And I think, my dad and mom, like, they had, I think, creative minds in a lot of ways. Like, my dad was really good at, like, like impersonations and storytelling and stuff like that. And every time I would like watch movies, I would just, I love to like imitate what I saw on, film, whether it be, a Disney movie or something that was, child appropriate. It was yeah, I remember yeah, just being so like enthralled with it. It was, and so that extended later on into uh middle school when I took a class called creative communications. It was sort of a drama class, but we there was a lot of original stuff that we put on, like original skits. There was one that actually made it to the news one time. It was about like, you know, like an anti-bullying campaign basically, and it was kind of it was like revolved around the conversation of like, you know, anti-gun violence and stuff like that, like, you know. So um yeah, like I remember like loving it so much in middle school, but like after about probably 7th or 8th grade, I stopped doing it for a while because I got interested in other things like martial arts. Like I studied karate for a little bit and taekwondo a little bit before that. And what I didn't realize at the time was like that is very performance oriented, because, you know, it's all about focus, and it's about, you know, expressing the human body, you know, and it's uh yeah, it's very much, you know, an art in itself, you know. And so yeah, I was heavily involved with that throughout, like a little bit through like 8th grade to about 10th grade probably. And then for some reason, I don't know, I fell into a deep depression, and like found myself, you know, like, I don't know, like I didn't have an outlet, you know, at the time to express myself. And like I tried to, like, you know, take other art classes that just didn't really, like, you know, interest me at the time, you know. And so I I and I think a lot of that was because I was living in Norman at the time, and I felt like I was just sort of a small fish in a big pond. And so I needed to like move myself to a smaller, you know, territory, you know, and something that was a little bit more familiar. And so I moved back to my hometown of Chickasha in at the end of 2011, or the middle of 2011. And I finished my high school career out there, and and that's when I actually started getting back into theater, and I got involved in choir, and um yeah, like it was that point after I had done like my first show at Chickasha Community Theater. I did A Christmas Story. I played Scut Farkas, the bully, and that really just set me down on the path that I am now. I think it's because yeah, it was like, yeah, come on, this is obviously what you love to do, so like you might as well, like, you know, try to make something out of it.
You found that outlet.
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
that's
And
excellent. Yeah, and I think we've talked about that a lot on this show, and everything, that, you know, theater is therapy. I've viewed that for a long time.
yes,
It allows us to explore different perspectives. It allows us different lives, things like that. But it also gives us an opportunity to step into someone else for a short amount of time and not have to deal with our stuff. And I think we all kind of need a break from reality from time to time. So,
absolutely, yeah.
all right. So you went and you were performing in high school.
Yes,
Okay. Then you graduated high school. You went on to USAO.
yes.
So I get the theater. Where did the psychology come from?
So that well, that kind of came towards the end of my college career. I was at the 4-year mark, and my theater professor, Katie Davis, told me, hey, we're you're about to graduate. What are you gonna do? And I just had this conversation. I was like, I I don't feel like I'm ready to leave yet.
Right.
So so she and I started to talk to her a little bit about other things that interested me besides theater, and I mentioned some things in psychology, and she said, why don't you do that? Why don't you go ahead and take up a minor in psychology? And 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 the more and more I thought about it, I was like, okay, yeah, I think really those two go hand in hand very well, because they because people like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, they have all used examples from Greek mythology and things like the Oedipus complex and the Electric complex. I mean stuff that is not scientifically accurate, but it was still it kind of laid a foundation for psychology a little bit. And so I feel like it just and I also feel like that in order to be a good actor, you kind of have to know how your character thinks a lot.
Sure.
Yeah. And yeah, it's you have to be know everything down to the physical mannerisms to the voice, and it's just
It's good. It's good. And I think more actors and all should, take a look at that a little bit, to kind of help them, when they're developing that character, of develop a backstory for them. Who are
Yeah.
they? Where'd they come from? One of the things we looked at doing William Shakespeare. He never really introduces his characters, so they're kind of a blank slate, and so it gives those actors an opportunity to create.
Yeah.
So we've done that in the past in giving them the opportunity to create a new backstory. Who is this person? Where did they come from? What they do? Did they have any siblings? All that kind of stuff. And that is the essence of psychology for that. So
Yeah. And that there was another theater artist that I talked to. He talked about Shakespeare and how a lot of the characters they write can also be sort of animal-like in some ways, because of how it's how they're described in the text. For example, what is his name? From Taming of the Shrew. Yeah, the main lead, he says, "My falcon now is sharp and passing empty." He's talking about Catherine, and he's talking about how he's going to train her to become sharp and kind of bend towards her ways a little bit. So there's a lot of examples like that if you analyze the text.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, he does a lot of symbolism and things like that, and so the psychology will definitely help. So
for sure.
So 2019, you made the transition into Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was a lot of fun. My first production in the city was a production at Carpenter Square called Jekyll and Hyde, or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, as it's supposed to be in the title. It was an adaptation by Jeffrey Hatcher. He's a playwright that I've done 2 other shows with since then. That was Jekyll and Hyde was a fun experience. I got to play 5 characters, including there were 5 different Hydes in the story, because there were supposed to be 5 different interpretations of Hyde. It's because it's about split personality and all that.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun. It was, and I got a rave review about it. It was, and I got to work with some great people, and yeah, I did 2 more shows there at Carpenter Square. Like I did Holmes and Watson and the library, and I also I ran lights for 2 shows there, and I stage managed 2 shows there. So that was kind of, I do a little bit of tech, like I mostly do performance, but like yeah, every now and then I take a stab at the tech side.
Sure. I think it's great for every actor to see and get a better understanding of what goes on behind the scenes. I think that will help them on the stage, understanding what's going on around them and how it all works. Now, not everybody may agree with that, but that's my opinion. So
Yeah.
so you came in to Carpenter Square.
Yeah.
Did you branch out from Carpenter Square because we talked about it a couple of times on the show here in Oklahoma City. I mean, you can't throw a stick and not hit a theater. So I mean,
Oh, yeah.
kind of everywhere. So
Yeah, I think the other theater that I've worked at the most is Third Act, and yeah, I'm on my 8th show with them right now. It's I don't know what it is. Like they produce cutting edge theater, like, and I love the kind of stories that they tell, and like it's they do a mix of everything, but they just, there's been a lot of like things that have caught my eye, with what they do. So yeah, I love keep going back to Third Act.
okay. So since your time being here in Oklahoma City, do you have a favorite production that you've been a part of?
So probably my first production with Third Act was Frankenstein. That was a really a cool show. It was very conceptual. It was done with 3 actors all playing multiple parts, and it was done in black and white. It was so cool. Like I it made sense, because like the only like frame of reference that you would have like from like, say like Frankenstein from the old days is the black and white film, and so setting it a stage production in black and white was just like it was a great homage, I think.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. So
It's okay. It was during COVID, so
well, yeah.
yeah. So
So talking about multiple actors, you've played a bunch, or actors playing multiple parts. You've played a lot of different parts all over the place. Just this year alone, going on what, 4 now?
yeah.
So you're coming up with your 4th show this year. So Wait Until Dark, one of my favorite shows.
Yes.
Was in the show myself, so I missed the Wait Until Dark performance. But Mike Tallman, very complex character.
Yes.
How did you prepare for that role?
So, I of course I had seen the movie a long time ago when I was like 6. I caught it on TCM or something like that, and so I kind of had a frame of reference, but like usually if I'm preparing for my own interpretation, I try to, as my theater professor would say, kill your darling, because like, just get rid of your own preconceived notion of what the character should be and just like, make it your own. And so I saw some parallels, with Wait Until Dark and the movie Panic Room. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's a David Fincher movie with Jodie Foster and a young Kristen Stewart, and there's also 3 bad guys trying to get after something of value, much like the 3 bad guys in Wait Until Dark. And so I like to think about certain performances that are parallel to the ones that I'm actually portraying. And so Forrest Whitaker's character in Panic Room was a huge source of inspiration for me, because like I found that they were both they were conflicted in some ways, but they did what they had to do, to, you know, it was just, it was a moral dilemma that they were in, and they both had a great character arc. They had you were kind of rooting for them in the end. And that's what I liked about Mike Tallman. It was, he had a great, ending, I think.
Cool. So, to talk about preparation and inspiration, your current role in Bad Seed,
Yeah.
definitely kind of an up and down character.
Yeah.
You never really know quite what to expect. What is he? What is he doing? All that kind of stuff. So, your role in third act, in Bad Seed at third act, what was your inspiration for that role?
So, again, kind of the same thing with Mike Tallman. I took like some references of certain performances that I liked before, and there was two that I picked, and one, like, especially for the voice of Leroy, I picked Eric Roberts' performance in Runaway Train. He plays an escaped convict who is kind of a hick and not too bright, but he's got big aspirations. And so, like, I felt like that was sort of a parallel between him and Leroy. And also, if you've seen the movie Green Mile, Sam Rockwell's performance as, Bill.
Yeah.
And he was, that gave me the creep vibe that I needed to dial into Leroy. So I love going back to certain performances that keep on inspiring. You know what I mean?
So you've had now two kind of creepy roles there, but then tucked right in the middle is probably one of the more legendary characters in modern cinema anyway.
Yes.
You got the opportunity to play John Merrick
Yes,
in
I did.
Elephant Man. So what was that like?
Oh my God, that was a dream come true, and I very much needed it because I found myself depressed after Waiting Till Dark, and I needed something to, like, I it's the drive to keep on working, like, for me.
Sure.
And so it was, so playing him was a physical challenge. It's probably the most physically challenging role I've ever played today. Like,
Now, I understand they were not doing prosthetics or anything like that.
No, there were no, like, traditionally the stage production doesn't want you to do it with prosthetics. The playwright made a foreword in the play saying, like even if it was like a successful attempt to, like, use prosthetics, it would just distract, like, from the story, I feel like, and so I agree with that. Like, I think that, John Merrick didn't really want to be remembered for his outer appearance. I think he wanted to be remembered for something much deeper than that.
Of course.
And hopefully that came across. And,
of course, his immortal line, "I am not an animal, I am a human being."
Yeah. He's one of the best characters I've ever played, and it was such a treat to play him. I wish we could have gotten to play him a little bit longer, but, like, that's okay. Yeah.
So, playing a role like John Merrick, or even the creepier side of the other characters that you played, is there anything in those characters that connects with you personally? Like, is there part of you in that character?
Definitely with John Merrick, because he had an artistic sensibility much like myself, and, like, he loved things like the theater and poetry, and he created a few models of certain buildings out of card stock, and like like there's one of his, like, I think it's St. Philip's Church that's on display at the London Hospital, and like that it's like the only surviving one that he made. But like he those things in particular, like I definitely like was able to hook into John Merrick, and yeah, like I and stuff like even going back to like Frankenstein, like he was a character that, I felt was very troubled, and like in a lot of ways I felt I was, I'm kind of troubled in some ways. So I was, that's the thing that I go into, like in making a character is like, how are they similar to me and how are they different from me? And that's like, I could go on and on about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your time. So, you tell whatever you want. So, all of those characters, you also, we talked in your intro, you've done some film acting.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So, I most recently did a favor for a friend. He asked, he's a adjunct professor at OU in the film media department, and he had a class that was making a short film, and he was looking for some actors that could he knew that did film, and like that was like he said like, would you like to play the part of a pimp? And I was like, sure, I'll do it. Like, and there was I think one of the biggest like moments in film for me is the short film that I made after I graduated college with a friend. It's called Neighbor. It's basically just a little short film about this college student meeting a new neighbor during the Christmas holidays. He realizes that his neighbor is going to be alone on the holidays and gets an idea. It's like, well, why don't I treat him to like a little Christmas dinner meal, whatever. And so it's it's a nice little short story of just the true meaning of Christmas. And also I did another short film in 2021 called Playing the Game. It's based around the concept of D&D. I played a character who's playing D&D and also playing the character that he's pretending to be. And as you know, with D&D, it's all improv and role playing. And so and that was like, that was enough to like get me IMDb credit. Like I had no idea until recently. Like after looking it up, I was just Googling my name and like sure enough, under IMDb there was for Filson. I need to update the page, obviously, but like it's it's cool to have that. So
it's a good idea for anybody to just go Google your name. You never know what you're going to find.
Exactly. Yeah.
So shifting gears just a little bit, going to the offstage area, one of the things that you've been quite active here recently with is some of your painting.
Yes.
Which I would dare to say it's quite good.
Oh, thank you.
But you're into abstract art.
Yeah.
When did that come about?
So that kind of came about in 2020. It was, it was toward the end of 2020. I was in a heavy depression at the time, and I wasn't doing any theater at the time because, there was no place producing theater. I mean, there were probably a few places that, anyway. So like I needed to have another outlet, and I just wanted to be able to stretch myself as an artist, and not just be, known for one thing, I wanted, if I'm going to be successful in this field, I need to, try to be multifaceted, So that's what I did. And I liked abstract art because it was, I don't want to say it was easy because it's not easy, but it was just the more accessible form to me, like, of art. Like, it was, there is so many ideas that can come from, like, like an abstract tree, or, or a landscape or whatever. You can really, like, find new ideas in that, I think. And not to say that you can't with realistic pictures, but I think it's, that was just, it was what was more accessible to me.
Do you have a favorite painting that you've created?
Right now there's one that I did, it's one of my most recent ones, called In Bloom. It's an acrylic piece on cardboard that I cut out of a shoebox. I tend to, like, use both canvas and cardboard, or just whatever I can use. And I think that one was good. Like, it's kind of, it's abstract, but it's almost, some people have gotten the vibe that's kind of like impressionistic in some way. And so I like that I'm sort of being labeled, as in, like, multiple genres. And so
That's cool. So I noticed on Facebook you posted some time back that you had an opportunity to exhibit your art.
yes.
You want to tell us about that?
Yes. So I will be exhibiting my art next year at Carpenter Square, alongside their show called Looped.
Okay.
And that should be running late May to early June.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah. And so, I might audition for that. Like, it I know Rhonda definitely wants me to come audition, for some more shows there, and I would love to keep working with them, especially in their new space I haven't seen yet. And so I'll be exhibiting my art alongside that show, maybe doing it like Loop 2, we'll see.
That's really cool. So now, do you sell your art?
I try to, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't turned a profit yet, but I'm trying to, yeah. And that will be, they'll be on display and sale at the
Nice.
Carpenter Square.
Well, there you go, folks. If you come out to Carpenter Square Theater to see the production Looped, you'll see some very good art, and you may be able to take some home with you. So, along that same avenue, you also developed a love for writing poetry.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your style.
So, I like writing in haikus. I like minimalistic poetry. Like that was kind of how my, like, visual art, like, started, with sort of a minimalistic style, like, and then it just developed into abstract. But with poetry, it was just, I found myself struggling to, like, in my early days of writing poetry, to, like, to find a structure for my, poetry. I was just writing whatever came to my mind, whatever was in my heart, like, and so, but haikus just seemed like a very direct and concise way to compile my thoughts. And there was also one that I recently published on Facebook. It's called the Solitary Sailor. It was sort of a break away from my haiku structure, and it's something that I like to do on my pastime. When I'm I some of it may be interpreted as sort of, moody or depressing, but like for me, that's just, getting out the bad to, so that way I can make room for the good.
Excellent, excellent. And again, another avenue of expression. And
Yeah.
much like you said, sometimes getting that out gives us room to be creative in those more positive areas. And I like that. So it says that you also do some singing. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've like, sang in a choir aspect, but like yeah, I like to go out to like karaoke sometimes and, with friends and, uh, and I did Guys and Dolls in college, so I sang. It was in the chorus, but it was an interesting role. I played Harry the horse. That was a it was a fun role, and like yeah, I just anytime I get the chance to sing, it's yeah, it's a lot of fun, and so and right now, or I'm planning to audition for Sweeney Todd whenever it comes up, and that's one of the few roles that caters to bass baritone voices. There's a lot of roles in musical theater that does it's all tenors or
Yes.
sopranos or
Yeah, it's hard for some of the guys with lower voices. So,
yes,
so-
very much so.
Okay, so talking more about you, what does a typical creative day look like for you?
Typical creative day. Well, typical creative day would be um enjoying a nice cup of coffee and like painting whatever comes to my mind, like uh or or even like just like looking up monologues or just trying to keep myself in that stream of consciousness of creativity, like yeah, like if it's a day that I feel like writing, I will try, like if something like comes to my mind, I will try to write it down and see how it looks later. If I like how it looks, then I will post it. Others, like it's like it's a matter of like just like when I'm painting, it's like they're sort of like loose jam sessions. I'm just sort of trying to follow a certain like color palette, but it may diverge into something else, and so it's yeah it I don't know, maybe there is no typical day.
I kind of thought that when AI helps me create these questions, when it comes up with that, I was like, artistic. Is there really a typical artistic day? So,
Yeah.
but I think certain people have, they have a system or they have a flow that they get into that helps them, and so that's kind of about that. But do you find in your writing, especially when you get to that point of writing something down that you feel like is impacting you, do you find that flow leads into writing more?
Yeah, that is exactly how it was for the latest poem that I wrote, The Solitary Sailor. It was just I thought, okay, it's gonna be another haiku, but and then I thought, wait, well, the first line, this I could really expound upon this. I could really I could follow like an actual beat, like that's different from what I normally do. And it was just like, yeah, I yeah, it's just the minute I started to find the beat to it, it was able, like, just I had the skeleton. Now I just had to add the meat and the muscles and all that. It was just yeah, I liked where that went. I was really proud of that, and I got some good reactions to that. I may take that piece a bit further. We'll see. Maybe get it published at a poetry reading or something like that.
Very cool. So getting from when you started that first, stroke into theater to this point now where you're at, has there been a piece of advice that you've gotten either from a colleague, a fellow actor, director, maybe a college professor, high school teacher, whatever, a piece of advice throughout your journey that has stuck with you throughout your journey?
So I I liked the bit of advice that I got from a voice teacher who like taught us to it was in college, like he taught us to, you know, like create different dramatic voices, and like and the bit of advice that he gave us is that we all have different voices and we all must learn how to use them, and which is true, because like, like we change the way we talk whenever we're like, talking to like a customer if we're working, or if we're talking to like a little child, we like, yeah, well, hey, we gotta adjust your tone. And it's and yeah, like I found that like that advice has helped me to like, create different voices for like different characters. I find myself rarely like using my own voice in any like character that I play. Like I just find my own voice to be boring. So I try to, take it the extra mile, and try to actually. And also, there's also some indirect advice that I got from Bruce Lee. And that's his philosophy of being like water, and how if you have to, you have to immerse yourself into whatever it is you're doing. Like, if you become water, and if you fill water into a pot, it becomes the pot. If you fill it to a cup, it becomes the cup. It's all about, being fluid, and yeah, it's that really helped me out, as he was an actor himself and trained a lot of actors, so I think his a lot of his philosophies really cater to the performing arts in general.
Very cool. And I like that, you talk about the voices. I think the voice itself goes beyond just the verbal. And for your life, especially, you've seen that too. You've got, the theater, you've got film, which is a different voice.
Yeah.
But then you also have the painting,
Mm-hmm.
which could be part of your voice, as well as the writing of poetry. Those are all voices that you have, that all of us have a different version of that within us. So we all have, like you said, we all have different voices, and we need to know how to use them.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a great job of using the voices that have been given to you.
Well, thank you.
So, looking at what you got going on right now, like I said, you're just wrapping up Bad Seed, a surprising show.
Yeah.
Definitely, my wife and I just went and saw that last night, and I can tell you, definitely not a romantic date movie or
no
production, but
yeah.
we do probably half the cast, so we were like, yeah, let's go. I want to see. I was interested in the story, and yeah, definitely keeps you on your toes. Some twists and things like that were really good. And I thought you guys did a really good job of telling the story. And to me, that's important.
Yes.
Even if a show, up, down, weak, strong, whatever, if the cast does a good job at telling the story as a whole, that's what's important to me. I'm a firm believer that we as actors, our first job is to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that, I think you've done what you were supposed to do. And I think you guys did a really good job of telling the story.
Well, thank you. That was, yeah.
So during that production, what's been the most surprising part for you?
During Bad Seed?
Yes.
I guess it's just, I don't know. Like I was really surprised by the level of acting that young Lily was able to deliver to the table. She I not that I doubt child actors ever, but it's like, yeah, there's some that are like they're better than others, and they're but like, yeah, she she brought her A games since day one. And I was like, wow, like where did this person come from? Like, and and uh, and so yeah, it's been a pleasure working with her like throughout the run, and like yeah, and I was really I was really pleased with the reactions the audiences have given it. It's yeah, it's always gratifying, when people love what you do. So
Yeah. So you're coming off of what many people have touted as a very creepy show in
yes,
Bad Seed into one of the most iconic holiday movie shows, It's a Wonderful Life.
yeah.
Uh, what is your mindset in shifting gears from Creeper to the holidays?
uh, well, it's
And the role is decisively different as well.
yeah. Well, I don't know. It's I try to be as minimalistic as possible. Like when it's like, I try to like, I'm not a method actor. I don't like, really like get heavy into my roles. You have to like distance yourself at the end of the day, like, especially with a role like this. And like, you know, like, yeah, you have to realize like, it's not how you are like, it's how you're not, uh, and so, playing a role like Mr. Gower in It's a Wonderful Life, I think is going to be a breath of fresh air, because yeah, I think that is a lot more likable character, and honestly, like, I mean, if you know the story, it's like he's very like troubled himself, and so I think I can tap into that, a little bit, just, make lemonade out of lemons.
There you go. You tend to gravitate that way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So are there any dream roles or projects that you're chasing right now?
Yeah. Like I said, Sweeney Todd at Lyric next year is the big one. And, I'll possibly do, a show at Carpenter Square, and some friends of mine were trying to get a one act play lifted off the ground. We'll see where that happens. Like, we'll. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But like, yeah, it from what I've like I've read the script. It's really good. It made me cry like a little bit, and so I was like really proud of the work that I saw on the page. I was like, we need to get this produced. So, yeah,
Nice.
that's the big goal.
I'll look forward to that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we start wrapping up our time here, I always try to end things up just on a light note, have a little fun, take, just as we say, a curveball. So we're just going to throw some questions and stuff at you. First thing that comes to your mind, we're going to be a little creative and have a little fun. So, First question right off the bat, what's your favorite drink?
Non-alcoholic or alcoholic?
Either way, what's your favorite?
Coke.
Okay. So Coke, you're a Coke drinker. All right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Chicken.
Oh, you like fried chicken or?
Anything chicken, really.
Anything chicken. Okay. Sounds great. If your art, and we'll encompass the whole thing, all of it, your poetry, your painting, your stage, your film, if your art had a soundtrack, what 3 songs would be on it?
Ooh. Oh, I probably okay, one that comes to mind is Give You Hell by All American Rejects. The other two I'm failing to think about at the moment, but
that's one of the ones that tends to stump people.
Yeah, like I like the soundtrack from The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Okay.
Okay, that's like, yeah, that I think I love anything Ennio Morricone. He's a great film composer, and like, yeah, I think. But yeah, like, sorry, I'm not able to answer the question.
You're fine. That's why we do this. It's a little fun. Okay, what's a hobby or interest that you have that no one would expect?
I actually like skiing.
Okay.
Yeah, snow skiing. Like
But you live in Oklahoma.
I live in Oklahoma. Yeah, so there's not a lot of opportunities.
A whole lot of
So yeah, like I used to be actually really good. I studied from a young age. I went to Colorado a lot with my family, and I don't know if I could still do it now. I mean, I still got the basics down and everything, but I'm not gonna go like Olympic or anything.
When was the last time you went skiing?
That was probably middle school.
So it's been a minute.
Yes.
Okay. So you get to design a mural in downtown Norman.
Okay.
No limits.
No limits.
Okay. So whatever. What do you use to paint this mural? What would you paint it with?
Probably a mixture of things. Probably, well, I always go to acrylic paint or maybe some spray paint of some sort. Maybe, I don't know, like I could like dabble into other things like epoxy or whatever. Like, yeah, I think, yeah, something like that. But I think my first love would always be acrylic paint.
So if you were given this task to create a mural down there in Norman, what would your focus be? Thinking, big picture, Oklahoma, Norman, what would be on your canvas, if you will?
Something that conveys a sense of community, something that will be universal, to a lot of people, and like, that, yeah, people will enjoy. I think I don't know. I like, yeah, there's a lot of ideas I could go to, but yeah, something that's rooted in community for sure. Something
Cool.
that everyone likes.
Yeah, like that. Okay. You talked earlier about you like to do karaoke.
Yeah.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
White Room by Cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you good at it?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Like,
All right. That was the follow-up question. Do you nail it or do you butcher it? So
I try to nail it every time, but like, I mean, there's, there's some nights, you may not be as good.
Depends upon how much you've had to drink, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So wrapping things up, where can people see your work?
You can see my work on my Facebook, or also have a portfolio box online, fordfilson.portfoliobox.net, something like that. And yeah, I've got a few of my paintings on there, and yeah, that's I'm still in the process of creating a lot more social media for my work, so that way, people will take me seriously. And but yeah, like Facebook and Portfolio Box are the main sources you can find me.
Okay, I'll look that up, and I will include a link to that in the show notes for this episode.
Cool.
What's one thing, thinking about your poetry, thinking about your painting, even your stage performance and stuff, what's one thing you hope people take away from your art?
That, I don't know, that that I'm honest, that I have a deep vulnerability, and that, yeah, I want to be able, to bring joy to other people, as much as this brings joy to myself. If I happen to create something that outlasts me, that, if it's a memory of a show that I've done, or if it's a film that I've done, or a piece of art that I've made, that it resonates with people, then I think my job is done. I think I can be satisfied with that.
That's very cool. So, any final shout outs or final thoughts that we haven't covered yet?
Mm,
Final words of wisdom. How about that?
Final words of wisdom. Well, just keep creating your art and keep having fun and be true to yourself. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, Ford, you're off to another show
Mm-hmm.
tonight. Shout out to the cast and crew of Bad Seed. Dylan Raspberry for putting it all together, bringing that to life. Did a great job. So, break a leg tonight, and I guess tomorrow is the final show.
That's right.
And then you're on to It's a Wonderful Life. So
That's right.
best of luck to you and all of that. And thank you for taking time to be a part of this. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Everybody else listening at home, we thank you for taking the time to be a part of this show, to let us have just a little bit of your time. We thank you for that. You can reach us at oklahomaonstage.org, or you can send us any comments or questions at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for being here, and no matter what you do, continue to support the arts.
Oklahoma!